Hello, everyone. It's Darlene, and I'm here in Cambodia, and I'm about to present to you about my homework presentation for fellow principals and also teachers. And my discussion topic is on homework, and it's going to be about how oftentimes homework has a negative connotation with a lot of people, and I'm trying to talk about how homework could be helpful if it's done in the right way. I'll probably be presenting this mostly to ACSI or ILCS meetings, or I could go to individual schools and make this presentation. First off, I want to say that we are asked to study, to show ourselves approved unto God, and uh, we are working hard to help our students to learn how to read and think critically for themselves. And homework does have a part to play in this as well. So the first point that I would be talking about is how homework's been around for a long time. I'm giving some various definitions of homework. But the main point is that homework is meant to be a reinforcement of lessons that have been taught in that day. Our little owl will be joining us throughout this presentation. He's going to help me point different things out. I like to think that his name is Henry. I don't know why. This cuneiform piece is just basically saying that there was a homework assignment that was written by a young boy, and he was talking about how he had to go home and tell his lessons to his parents and how happy his father was when he heard his homework. He wasn't necessarily very happy himself. Um, the next thing I'm going to do is have a survey for my group, and they'll be able to use this QR code to uh, just go straight to the page. It's a 6-question survey. They have 20 seconds each to do it. So it'll be about 2 minutes. As they answer questions, I'm able to show the scores of what they thought as a group to everybody. And I can also, I'm going to go on. I can also show the final score of what has happened, or do multiple surveys and gather data across schools and states, and since I'm in Cambodia, even countries. Then I'll be moving into a whiteboard activity. This is an activity that the link is down here, but they'll be able to go on it with their computers. Everybody brings their computers to these kind of sessions, and we'll be able to blow up this page, those post-its. They can type in their thoughts, and it's just an open mind activity to see what everyone's thoughts are, pros for homework, what they think is bad about homework, what they think, what some questions are um, about homework, and how we can make the best use of homework. Then I've made this slide that basically is what I think everybody's going to say. It's a summary of what uh, would probably be on that whiteboard activity, but it's not necessarily going to cover it all, but we'll talk about it. And then I'm going to move into how homework does follow the guidelines of brain-based activity, that it gives important repetition and practice, that it allows for the ability to use different modalities, and especially important in adolescent age groups. All of my members would be able to have this flyer. It's a bifold. And so we see right here is the front page showing the name of the conference. And then here are some doodle notes that allows them to creatively record their own thoughts through the session. And then this last page over here is again our verse, and then the agenda, so that they know what is happening, and what is the progression. One of the points that I'll be making is about how student mindset plays into it, that students need to see the value of homework. Any sort of busy work has a negative effect on students. And students, especially as they get older, really do this like cost benefit analysis where they sit there and go, is this homework worth what I'm going to be losing as far as time on their cell phone or family time or whatever to do it? And so they're constantly doing what is called cognitive effort discounting. Um, and then I'm going to talk about how teachers impact homework, and really, it is the teacher who helps students understand why they need to do whatever assignment that the teacher is asking them to do, and their involvement in how they design their homework, and then the feedback that they give the homework uh, gives a lot of value to the students, and they're much more likely to do it if the teacher themselves are invested in the homework. So, some of the ideas for design of homework is that it must be frequent. In other words, the kids have to be used to using it. It needs to be somewhat brief. In other words, something they can accomplish in a shorter period of time. It needs to be relevant, in that it has to be something that makes sense to the student, and it has to be achievable, which is a lot of times people send home work that students struggle with or whatever. And if you haven't gone over it in class, it should not be something that is sent home. Students should be able to do whatever the assignment is. I see this a lot in math, where the teacher seems to go over the easier concepts in class, the more basic, and then at home they have the more difficult problems, which they then get stuck on. So, and a lot of times, if we could include an element of choice, that would really help students buy into the concept of the homework. I've created a poster for teachers. It could be a handout, but it also could be made in a bigger format so that uh, the principal or they could hang it in their workroom, something that a teacher could refer to. Uh, Different kinds of feedback. I'm going to remind them, because that's an important thing about learning. You, when you're learning something, you're supposed to tell them what they're going to learn, then tell them the learning or help them with the learning, and then remind them of what they learned. And so I'm going to hit again some key points. And I'm going to remind everybody that the the real point of homework is to help students learn. And if it's not doing that, it's better to have no homework than to have work that is not helpful to the student. And I want to say thank you to everybody. I appreciate you listening to me. And here is a bunch of references, and Henry the Owl is there to help you see them all.